Lately, I have been watching a bunch of movies called Star Wars. Now, if you haven't seen these movies, I will fill you in. Basically, the robots are fighting the stormtroopers, then the stormtroopers are fighting the rebels, and the rebels win, but the stormtroopers come back and the rebels have to fight the stormtroopers again. It's very nuanced and complicated, and a lot of it will probably go right over an average viewer's head, so I won't even try to explain all the subtle nuances of the series. Anyways, there is a reoccurring character named Anakin Skywalker. This last name will be important to this theory. Anakin is a pretty stand-up guy and has a lot of very funny moments. Now stay with me here. There's another character named Darth Vader who's really tall and basically blows up a planet for no reason. Well, after watching these movies many times, I think I have a theory. I think that Anakin and Vader are the same dude. I'm aware that this theory sounds stupid, but please hear me out first. Proof number 1, similar hand gestures. My first point of evidence is that Anakin and Vader use very similar hand gestures when they are choking someone with the Force. Now, the Force is a mystical power used by wizards called the Jedi, but I cannot get into that right now because it's just too nuanced and complicated. That would probably go right over your head. Basically, the two characters appear to use the same hand to choke someone, and they both seem to be very angry. I think this was done intentionally by the creators of Star Wars to link these characters together in a very subtle and nuanced way. The main protagonist of Star Wars is Luke Skywalker, a farmer who eventually saves the galaxy by blowing up the Death Star twice. Now, I would love to get into that, but it is just too nuanced and complicated. Basically, Luke's last name is Skywalker, and in Star Wars Episode 2 of Attack of the Clones, it is mentioned that Anakin's last name is also Skywalker. So what is the significance of this, a person may ask? Well, in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, it is very briefly mentioned that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
I am your father.
It wouldn't be that far of a stretch to assume that since Darth Vader is Luke's father and Anakin's last name is Skywalker, that the two characters are the very same person. But how could such a whiny bitch like Darth Vader get laid and have a kid, you may ask? Well, Anakin is seen to be dating this very dumb broad several times throughout the first 3 movies, so maybe it is possible that the two banged and that's how Luke was born. I think this is plausible and explains why Vader could ever have a kid. Proof number 3, Obi-Wan. Anakin and Obi-Wan are shown throughout the 3 movies to be very good friends, and it is mentioned that Obi-Wan is Anakin's master. Later in the series, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader have a fight, and Darth Vader says this:
"When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master."
If Darth Vader was trained by Obi-Wan, and Anakin was also trained by Obi-Wan, it's not crazy to assume that the two are the same person. Now, I know what you are thinking. Maybe Darth Vader has dementia because he is old and tall. Well, I don't think this is the case at all, because Darth Vader is a very smart guy, as seen in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, when he can sense Luke Skywalker on a ship using only his mind. This is very impressive and could not be done by someone stupid enough to have dementia. Also, being tall has nothing to do with having dementia, so maybe you should check your facts first. Proof number 4, same burn marks. In Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Obi-Wan are pretty pissed at each other and are fighting on Mufasa, a lava planet. Now, before I get into the main proof, I just want to point out how Darth Vader and Obi-Wan seem to be angry at each other, as seen by their anger expressions. And Anakin and Obi-Wan are also angry at each other. Coincidence? No way, Jose. So when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting on Mufasa, Anakin accidentally gets his legs chopped clean off, and Obi-Wan sets him on fire because of how pissed he is. If you pause the scene and look closely, you can see Anakin is burnt all over, including his head. Now, if you closely look at Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader has very similar burntness. It is possible that Vader gets those scars from being set on fire because he is Anakin. Proof number 5, musical themes. Music in films is often used to convey deeper meaning. Through song, the conductor makes emotions and stuff like that. I really can't get into that right now because it's just too nuanced and complicated. Listen very carefully to Anakin and Darth Vader's songs side by side. As you can clearly hear, John Williams has crafted these songs in such a way to be very subtly connect these two characters, which I believe was intentional. I think that this is the creator of Star Wars' way to subtly hint at the two characters being connected in some way, shape, or form. Proof number 6, Darth Vader's death. This is my final proof of this theory, and I think that it pretty much proves it altogether. In Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader dies, and it is very sad for Luke because Vader was his father. Now later, when the good guys and Ewoks are all partying and having a good time, Luke sees none other than Anakin Skywalker as a ghost, along with Obi-Wan and some other random guy nobody cares about. I don't think that is a coincidence that right when Vader dies, Luke starts seeing Anakin's ghost. If Anakin and Vader are in fact the same guy, it would make sense that when Vader dies, his ghost would be Anakin. In conclusion, there is just too much evidence for this theory that Anakin and Darth Vader have to be the same person. What I think happened is that when Anakin burned alive, he started wearing that Vader suit to hide how ugly he became. This also explains why both characters are burnt and scarred. This theory also explains why Anakin and Luke would have the same last name and how Vader could have had a kid in the first place. Now, there are some things that might disprove this theory, which I feel obligated to share. First of all, Darth Vader is clearly a black man, because he is voiced by James Earl Jones, and Anakin is white. To many, this may automatically disprove the theory, but what I think happened is a reverse Michael Jackson scenario, where a white man turns black. He could have also turned black from being burnt on the lava planet. Okay, maybe that is a little too far. Another pretty big hole in this theory is that Obi-Wan says himself that Anakin died.
He betrayed and murdered your father. Now the Jedi are all but extinct.
Now, if Vader killed Anakin and Anakin was Luke's father, then how could the two be the same guy? This is pretty damning, but I still think that this theory works, because maybe Obi-Wan meant that he died in a figurative way. This is very likely, since wise old people are always saying stupid bullshit metaphors because they have no friends. While many will discredit the theory because of what Obi-Wan said, don't forget that he also said this.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, and a cunning warrior, and he was a good friend.
As you see, the way Obi-Wan describes Luke's father applies to both Vader and Anakin, meaning the two are most likely the same guy. Overall, I think this theory just has too much evidence behind it to not be true. Let me know if there's anything else that supports this theory in the comments below. And if you disagree, let me know. But please do not hurt my feelings, because I will report you to YouTube, and my uncle works there, and you can probably get your account banned, so you better think twice, mister. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next theory on how Chancellor Palpatine is the Sith Lord that the Jedi Council are looking for.